The management of Godrej Consumer Products joins us right now. Mr. A. Mahindran, the MD at GCPL, joins us to talk a little bit more about how business is shaping up, particularly on the robust soap business outlook as well as the overall growth, whether or not the continuation will happen. Mr. Mahindran, thanks very much for joining in. Let's start talking about that very aspect of your business, that's the soap business, which has been a key driver for you. Going forward into the next few quarters, is that likely to be sustainable in terms of a growth rate achievement?
See, as the sentiments, the market sentiments, as well as the FDI approval and the monsoon returning back, putting all together, our going forward, our next quarter, as a team, GCPL team, as well as the entire ecosystem here are quite buoyant, and we will be going ahead and forging ahead, and we expect to sustain our good results which we are posting for the last 8 quarters, and we'll continue to sustain that.
What kind of an incremental positive do you see with the relaunching of Synthol, as well as overall now raw material costs, particularly for palm oil, has cooled off quite a bit? So any incremental benefits on the margin side?
See, as far as the palm softening part of it, yes, we do expect some amount of improvement in margins will be there, certainly, for the quarter ensuing. And as regards the relaunch of Synthol brand, we do expect the market to support us, particularly the positioning of the brand has been done very well, and this rejigging the brand and relaunching and repositioning, it's definitely we are quite buoyant, and we will expect that to deliver better results in the next quarters to come. Yes, certainly.
So overall, for a growth rate projection, if you have to make, would it be around 20% plus?
See, the growth rate which we have posted in Q1, we will sustain in Q2, and Q3 we hope to sustain the same thing. We don't see any reason why we should not sustain the growth rate.
All right. Let's talk about the recent news about the phase 2 of Darling acquisition, and overall status on that right now, and future outlook.
Yeah. See, Darling as a business we acquired last September, and as per our plan, the phase 2 acquisition is now completed, and this would definitely help to improve our turnover within the Darling group from 45% for last year when we acquired. Now that will go to 65% of the total turnover of the Darling group, and this will be successfully completed, and it's basically we acquired the Kenyan operation, which is the eastern part of Africa, and this operations of Kenya also exports goods to many more countries on the east coast like Uganda, Rwanda, etc. So we think this will also help us to put us better performance in Darling as a brand and as a group in Africa. It will help overall our consolidation better.
Any other inorganic growth plans, particularly any other company that you've shortlisted on in your portfolio of acquisitions that you've made?
See, as we do not disclose what is currently going on due to confidentiality from where we are talking to or discussing with anybody for that matter, we cannot disclose that. But if you ask me whether the M&A activity as it's been doing very, very successfully from 2008 onwards, it's continuing, and we are quite confident that there's an organic portion of our objectives for 10 by 10 strategy as well as 3 by 3 strategies, which is all in line and going well.
Right. What I meant to ask you was, you've been pretty aggressive in terms of your earlier acquisitions, even for Megasar. What I meant to ask you was, have you kept aside in mind over the next fiscal to come, whether this pipeline of acquisitions will continue at the same pace, or you'll probably slow it down a bit, consolidate the overall acquisitions that you made, and then look at other portals.
I think the second option, what you are saying, is what we would do a little bit slow it down, and consolidation is going on for the last 2 years, 3 years. Each integration of all the acquisitions are well set now, well done, and it is resulting in a good growth even in organic form. The inorganic growth story of 2010-11, now it's become an organic growth story, which is doing very well, much ahead of our expectation. And as far as the pipeline is concerned, it's quite as per the expectation of our inorganic plan. Yes, we will try and look a little bit of slowing down and look at consolidation more for the next couple of years. But at the same time, if there are some good acquisition coming on the way, which we call as irresistible acquisition, where each and every acquisition, if you are looking at year one EPS accretive, which is pretty irresistible, provided it falls within the 3x3 strategy, we will look at that also.
Right. Just one last word, Mr. Mahendran, before we let you go, in terms of price increases, if at all you will be taking them, and across which verticals and segments?
See, as a policy on pricing, we follow the market leader. Now, if you take soaps as a category, we follow the leader, whoever the market leader is, and if there is a price increase, we follow suit. Now, as far as the household insecticide is concerned, we are the leader, the market leader, and if we take hair color, we are the market leader. Godrej Expert is the market leader. So we carefully steer that. We do not pass it on whatever. If there is a cost push back to we don't dump it on the consumers. We are quite careful, and we believe in calibrated price increase rather than pushing if there is any cost push shocks happening. We don't shock the consumer just like that.
All right, got your point, Mr. Mahendran. Really appreciate you joining us and sharing those views with us, the outlook for growth, plans for further acquisitions and integrating the already acquired companies. Godrej Consumer Products is up about 1% right now. Let's quickly take a look at the Sensex futures.